Hi, how are you? Pass that out so you have it.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
How's your daughter doing at school?
She's loving it.
Does she?
Good. She loves it.
Good.
Yeah, she has no complaints going back on Sunday.
That first year away is,
It's a tough one, but
it really is.
she's settled in really well. She really enjoys it.
My son went off to college many years ago, but it was, I think he made it to October before he had a collapsed lung. And we got a call that he was rushed to Pittsburgh Medical Center. And they treated him well. But then he came back from there and he wasn't allowed to carry his books. So not only did security have to drive him to his classes, but they had to carry his books for him. But yeah, it was only a couple of months there and he had a collapsed lung.
How's your dad doing?
Tough start.
He's doing all right. All right. He's still in Kindred rehab over in Newburyport.
Here's a new report.
And if everything goes well, he'll be home on December 5th.
Okay.
Still pretty weak.
Did
Yeah.
he have visitors?
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 26, 2012 Raleigh Board of Selectmen. Remind everybody that this meeting is being audio taped and videotaped. And first on the agenda is call the meeting to order and Pledge of Allegiance. Bob, will you lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Can I ask Mr. Chairman?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. Remind everybody, it is about 3 after 7 right now. In about 2 minutes, at 5 after 7 will be Citizens Query, and Citizen Query will start at 7:05 and will be over at 7:15. So if anybody wishes to ask any questions at that particular time, just let us know, okay? First on the agenda, Chairman's comments. I have no comments tonight, so we'll move on to, we have a joint meeting class tax classification hearing with the Board of Assessors. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we do this by a roll call vote and to have a joint meeting with the Board of Assessors. So I'll ask for a motion from someone for a joint meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor with a roll call vote?
I, Jack Cook.
Hi, Joe Berry.
I, Robert Snow.
I, Robert Murray. I, Stu Delzell.
I, Bill Demento.
I, Donald Thurston.
Hi, Diane D'Angelo.
We are now in joint session. First, I'd like to read the legal notice. The Town of Raleigh Board of Selectmen tax classification hearing. Notice is hereby given. The Raleigh Board of Selectmen and Raleigh Board of Assessors shall meet jointly on Monday, November 26th, 2012 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, 139 Main Street, Route 1A, Raleigh, Massachusetts, to determine what tax classification rates there shall be for residential, open space, commercial, industrial, and personal property for fiscal year 2013. All town residents are invited to attend this meeting Raleigh Board of Selectmen, Robert Snow, Chairman. And with that, Bill, I will turn over you, the chairman.
Mr. Chairman, you now need to call for a motion to open the tax classification hearing. You're in a joint meeting, you're not in a public hearing.
That's right. Could I have a motion to open tax classification hearing?
Motion open here.
Have a second? Have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We have to do it by roll call.
Roll call vote.
A roll call vote.
Jack Cook.
Joe Perry.
Aye, Robert Snow.
Aye, Robert Mary. Aye, Stu Dalzell.
I, Bill Demetta.
Aye, Donald Thurston.
Hi, Diane D'Angelo.
Okay.
Some one of these years we'll get it right.
Well, we do this over and over again, no matter how many times we do it. Sometimes we do it right. But anyways, Bill.
Okay. Well, again, our principal assessor, Sean McFadden, has done a great job putting together a recap sheet that everybody should have in front of them. There are 3 pages here. The summary on the first page. Second page would give you an idea of what the percentage shift of the tax rate would be to our commercial and industrial properties if we were to vote a shift. And the last page, Sean has a select group of properties that he's used for many years now to give you an idea of what the differences in taxes are between FY 2012, 2013, and what the effect the tax rate has as far as the increase. On page 1, the summary, you'll see that the fiscal year 2013 average single-family assessed value is at $361,633. This is a 1.2% decrease overall in residential value in the town for this coming year. The town is now just starting to feel the effects of the recession. The town has actually done quite well through the recession as far as property values compared to other parts of the United States that have suffered substantially. The fiscal year 2013 proposed tax rate is, when approved by the Department of Revenue, will be $14.50 per thousand, which is a 4% increase over the $13.92 per thousand that it is for fiscal year 2012. The fiscal year 2013 average single-family proposed real estate tax, we're looking at $5,244.12, with a new growth 2013 value at $8,376,974. The new growth in tax dollars that the town will realize is $116,607. And what else have we got here? The tax increase for the average single family FY12 to FY13 is going to be $154.99. And the differences in the tax rate upcoming FY13 is 58-cent increase over last year, again $13.92 going to $14.50. Any questions?
$13.92 to $14.50. Any questions from the board?
And all of that is pending certification of the FY 2013 tax rate by the Department of Revenue.
Any questions from the audience? The hearing.
On the second page, you're talking about a shift.
On the second page, I'll get into that in a
Okay.
second. The primary purpose of this meeting is for the two boards to get together to talk about FY 2013 tax classification as to whether or not the town feels that we're in a position where we should shift the tax rate, some of the burden of the current tax rate, which is what we call a flat tax rate, across commercial, industrial, and residential. We have a single tax rate at the current time. What Sean has done on the second page is he's shown you if we were to shift a certain percentage, 5, 10, or 15% of the tax burden to commercial and industrial properties, which we legally are able to do, it has a relatively minor effect on the residential savings. As you can see, if we were to shift it 5% to commercial industrial properties, the residential savings realized would be about $47 a year versus the increase to the commercial and industrial sector at $375 per year. You'll see at the bottom of the page we have a current breakdown of residents and open space, residential and open space at approximately 85% of the town. To be exact, 84.59% of the town is residential property and open space, with commercial and industrial property at 15.41%. Over the past 20 years, the town has grown its commercial property, what we all feel quite wisely, and has benefited the town with decreased amount of services. But at this point, the Board of Assessors has discussed this and is ready to make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen that we maintain a flat tax rate at this point in lieu of sliding the burden to our commercial industrial properties at this time. With only 15% of the town tax burden right now seen by commercial industrial, it's our feeling that an extra burden on commercial industrial would be unnecessary and probably unprudent at this time.
How's the board feel?
I have to agree with Bill. I think we've got a very small percentage of industrial compared to the residential open space, and I think in this economy, we need to treat those people as fairly as we can, and not affect their rates if at all possible. We really want to try to grow that percentage rather than diminish it by shifting the burden onto them. That would be my thought.
Yeah, I think in this economy that we still have to work with our people in helping grow their businesses, and put an added burden on.
Jack?
Totally agree with that.
Stu?
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think,
Flat.
I think we want to attract business, not to, turn it away from us.
attract and not drive it out.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we want to do. So, so we need a motion to maintain the tax classification.
At a flat tax
The
rate
flat tax rate.
for all properties in the town of Raleigh.
Okay. Do I have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? We need a roll call vote with this, or? Roll call
Yeah,
vote.
that's all written down right there. Mr. Jimmy, since we are in a public hearing, you probably want to just make sure there's no questions in the
Any
audience.
questions from the audience on tax classification? Okay. Roll call vote.
Jack Cook.
Joe Perry.
Robert Snow?
Hi, Bob Mary.
I Stu Delzell.
I, Bill Demento.
I, Donald Thurston.
Hi, Diane D'Angeli.
Okay. So we're good for another year.
Job well done.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Good
much.
job. Okay.
Can you take a
Well,
vote?
we have to take to go out of,
During the joint meeting?
adjourn the joint meeting. Do I have a motion to go out to adjourn the joint meeting with a roll call vote? We have a motion first.
I'll make that. Go ahead, Bill.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a second. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Jack Cook.
Joe Perry.
Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Mary.
I Stu Delzell.
I, Bill Demento.
I, Donald Thurston.
Hi, Diane D'Angeli.
That's it.
Good.
Thank you for coming in
Thank you
tonight.
for coming in, yes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Good
Few
job.
signatures and we'll get out of here.
Shows a date today, 26.
26.
26.
Today's the 26th, yes.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna sign this.
Sean?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank you.
John,
Thank
take
you very
care.
much.
Bill.
Thank you. Take care.
Nope.
Good night, guys.
Good night now.
So.
Thanks, Bill. See you, Bill.
Okay, it is perfect timing, 7:15. Citizen query is now over. Like a well-oiled machine tonight. So something must have been going wrong, so, anyway. 7:15.
Not with us.
7:15, we have an appointment with representatives of the Town Common Restoration Committee for the project update. Okay. Stu, you're on the, Stu, you're a member of the restaurant?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, with that, I'm gonna turn it over to,
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we were here several weeks ago, at which time we had presented the planting design plan for the tree landscape on Rowley Common, and the plan was approved by the board. And it came to light after that meeting, when we were doing some final measurements, that there's a water main that, rather than being in the street, which we all assumed, is actually, I don't know, several feet onto the grass area of Rowley Common. With that information, we thought it was prudent to take a step back and review our design with consultations with the water board, with the water department. And we had several meetings where both the water department and the highway department were in attendance. And we wanted to present the board with some minor changes to the design, taking into account the location of that water main. So I'll ask resident and chief design volunteer Steve Harrison to give the board a quick overview of those impacts.
Thank you, Dan. Changes are minor, but the fact that we had that water main underneath, I thought it prudent that we make some changes, and the result of those changes was actually the removal of 2 trees in the overall planting scheme. It also resulted in spreading out the trees a little bit further than what they were, and pushing them off the road from where it was just a little bit more. The fact that the water main is right in the common, very close to where the trees are going to be planted above. One of my questions to the water department is, are you more worried about your pipes being affected by the trees, or the pipes affecting the trees? Did I say that right? It was the opposite, right? So he's more worried that about the trees being affected by a water main break, not so much the trees causing a break. His concern was, number one, are the roots going to get into the pipe? And though there's no guarantee, the chances of that are very slim, because there used to be a myth that the root system of a tree emulates or mirror image of the top portion of the tree, and that's just not the case. If you look at the root system compared to the top growth of the tree, it's really a pancake. All right. Water department said that they're probably 6 or 7 feet below ground level. All right. Even at its mature size, trees are probably not going to be, the root system that is, any deeper than about 3 feet. All right. They tend to spread out more rather than going down deep. So the question there then arises, okay, what other options do we have in relocating the trees? And unfortunately, along Main Street, we've got zero. We can't go in further because we have the statue there. We have other restrictions. And obviously, part of this move was to get it off of the street, so we don't want to plant closer to the street.
Steve, how far in is the water main from the curb?
I actually have located it on the plan,
Okay.
all right? And if you like, we can spread this out, but it's probably anywhere from 12 to 15 feet off of the curb.
Oh, that
Really?
far?
That
Yeah,
far in?
that far in. All right.
And the trees were going to be planted how far in?
18 to as far as probably 25 feet. The plan now, as it's drawn, will actually individually set each tree. So it specifies distance between trees and setback off of the road, whereas before it was more generic.
Okay. So it's 12 feet in from the curb, and then we were planning to plant the trees another 13 feet from the center of that pipe in with, no?
No, no,
I'm
no.
a little confused.
All right. We're talking measurements in from the curb.
From the curb.
So the water main is anywhere from 12 to 15 feet.
Okay.
All right.
And then
Back to the curb, we're going to be 18 to 24 feet off of the curb. So the difference is going to be that anywhere from 3 feet to 8 feet, let's say.
The tree will be planted anywhere from 3 feet to 8 feet from
Away
that,
from the-
from that main.
from the pipe.
That
So
may-
the main's 7 to 8 feet below the grade, and the tree is either 3 or 8 feet further in,
Okay.
off the curb.
When you go by the common, you'll notice the blue flags
Exactly.
where the water line is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a general.
So it's
Yeah.
all
And it's
been-
right on
You'll
the
see-
Main Street side.
It's on the Main Street
So
side.
it's all been scoped out.
It's all been scoped out, you know, as best we possibly can, but I went out there and I measured approximately where the stakes were, and the water department also had a separate plan, and our plans matched, so.
How big a main is this?
I forget what John Reza indicated, but he did say that it's an original main, which I guess is 1947 when the system was put in, and he said the useful life, which I found pretty
Remarkable.
amazing. The useful
Yeah.
life of that main, it's a cast iron main, is 150 years. So, and John seemed to indicate, to Steve's point, that he was more concerned that at some point, if there were a break in the main and it happened to be right below one of those trees, we could lose one.
Oh, yeah.
He also indicated that in the future, and who knows, 80 years from now, if that main would need to be replaced, at that time the thought would
Trees are
be,
gonna be huge.
well, the trees would be huge, and you would probably reroute the main to in the road, just for, for like everything else.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
just, sectionalize and go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, the fact that I'm either 3 feet or 8 feet, I could be 25 feet away, and that root system will still reach above the water main, but highly unlikely that it's going to actually affect the water main.
Go down to
All right. So you have very little room, you know. So I guess what we have to think about is it's the survivability of the tree, and when it comes to Mother Nature, it's a gamble anyway. All right. Whether it's the water main that affects the survivability of the tree, or Mother Nature throws a curve at us, like it did with the elm trees. There was 2 spots on the common related to the water main that really affected my moving. One was at the corner of Summer Street and Main Street, and one of the trees was proposed directly above a coupling, and I figured that's got to be one of the weak spots in the that was a tree that was removed. The next tree, also on Main Street, closer to Independence Street, there I had a tree 2 feet away from, and I never even noticed it before, but a water valve. So I've moved that further away, and then the result is I adjusted the distance between the trees. All right, and because I did that on one side, I decided I would space out better the rest of the trees along Summer Street and Independence Street, and that resulted in removing another tree. So one tree is removed because it was above a coupling in the water main. The other was just evenly spacing the trees.
Would it be helpful, Mr. Chairman, to view the plan?
I think that's what my next question was gonna be, if you can, down in front of us.
If you remember correctly, I have big drawings.
Yes.
Engineers always have big drawings.
Okay.
That's why we're only discussing drawings.
Forgive me, or give me a hand here. All right. This dashed line here is the water main.
Nate, I don't know if you can get over our shoulder here from the right and get that camera, you can key in on the map there. Joe, I think you're, come on over here, Joe, for a second.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Steve.
The most information I have, we begin across Main Street, and we actually have a tree that exists right now. That's the pear. All right, that was going to be replaced with a shade tree. Well, I've removed that totally. So we begin with the London plane tree, and here is where the main is running, and it comes all the way across, and then beyond Independence Street. There is an offshoot of the main that brings you over to Burke Ave.
Okay.
All right. There is the water valve right there, which brings water over to the bandstand. And we have the existing spigot and fountain, and also the fire hydrant. All right. The water main on Summer Street actually is on this side, all right, the common side, but it is in the street. And I know that because I watched a fairly large sinkhole with a broken main there. And that was a few years ago. So, the plan is now showing distance off, for each tree, and the distance between, and it varies between 40 feet upwards to, I believe, 43 feet
Between trees.
between trees.
Okay.
Whereas before it was at 40 feet. And I actually like spreading it out a little bit more. It's minimal, but
So as I'm looking at this particular location here at Main Street, and this tree here, that is
a linden,
a linden. Okay, so that tree is going to be placed 18 feet from the curb
correct.
out. And then the water main is how far?
Well, I would make a guess that it is probably 3 feet.
3. Okay.
3 feet away from the linden's root
Linden,
ball.
okay.
All right, making it about 15 feet off the curb.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay. Comments, Dan?
It'll be, this plan will be, you correct me if I'm wrong, 32 trees instead of 34.
Correct.
Okay.
I still think it's great that we're restoring the common, and that you put so much effort into making the plan and revising it so that it makes it work better, taking into account that water main.
Our last committee meeting, we had all kinds of people. We had 2 from the electric, the water department had 2 or 3 people. It was great. Everybody was there.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everybody's been very supportive. In fact, the highway department has agreed to remove the stumps. The electric department has agreed to take down the trees that need to be removed, so people have been very supportive, and we appreciate it, and it's a great community project.
Everybody's got their fingers in this, which is good.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Okay, great,
Yep.
thank you.
No other questions, that's it? Sure, okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you, Steve.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll fold this back up, and
All
you
right.
can have a copy of that.
Well, you're doing a great job, and we appreciate all your effort that you put into this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
I've
Dan?
enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming in and giving us the update. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dave? Phil?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it.
Okay, Steve.
All right, Bob.
Great job.
Stu?
Good job.
Stand on your project, Steve, we'll put you on another one. Might be right in the cemetery.
The price is right.
On the
Now,
Brad
this
Street
project
farmhouse.
proved it. We all work together, we can move a mountain.
Yep. Thanks for your work on the committee, Stu. Good job.
Bill?
Yeah, the selectmen executed that last week.
All right.
Historical commission, not the.
Good night, all. Thank you.
Good night.
Great, thanks, Steve.
Steve, thank you again.
Yeah, we was-
David, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, David.
We'll see you later.
Good night.
Good night.
You're gonna be adjourning in about 4 minutes?
Yeah. Hope so.
You know something we don't know? Okay.
Who's that gentleman in the last row?
Okay. It is 7:32. Nothing? Deb? Okay. Supposed to have an appointment at 7:30. We'll,
Calzaro, is that his name?
Pelzauer, yes, Dennis.
We might be on to check the hallway to see if he's there.
Well,
Yeah. Can somebody check the hallway and see if Mr. Pelzauer is here?
Mr. Chairman, we don't have any voicemails.
Excuse me?
We do not have a voicemail or anything
Nothing?
in response from Mr.
Okay.
Dennis Palazzo.
Well, we'll try and see.
We have his letter. It's in your packet.
Okay.
Did he agree to be here tonight?
Well, Amy has contacted him about the meeting and left a message and followed up with another phone call and did speak to somebody and left a message. And we were just seeking confirmation for tonight, but we have not been able to reach him by telephone.
Okay.
He didn't provide an email address, so we just have the telephone number.
Okay. Why don't we keep this open until we have our next appointment is 7:45, so maybe we'll do some general business until then, and we'll come back. All right, moving along, we'll go down to general business. If I can find general business, here we go. Okay, general business, sign. Excuse me.
Pleasure.
Yes, Sean.
He's here to sign for us,
Oh,
notarize.
where is the paper? Oh, it's for the memo. Sean, take a seat. Give me a second. Okay. I'm thinking about the last thing we did with the tax classification. I thought we forgot to do something. Okay. I'm up to snuff now. Okay. To sign the MEMA grant contract, Fire Chief and Director James Broderick has notified the Board of Selectmen that the town has received $2,500 grant from MEMA in the Department of Homeland Security. I need to read this letter into the record. The Board of Selectmen will need to vote to authorize myself to sign the contract. First, I will read the letter. The letter is from James C. Broderick, Fire Chief, to the Board of Selectmen. Members of the Board, the Town of Raleigh has been approved to receive $2,500 from MEMA in Department of Homeland Security to enhance the capabilities of the Raleigh Emergency Management Agency. With this grant award, MEMA, the Raleigh Emergency Management Agency, will be purchasing portable radios with toning capabilities to issue to all members of REMA. With these radios, the Emergency Management Director will be able to activate the REMA team with one-tone activation in the event of emergency. This will be similar to the way firefighters are notified for a call. These radios will also enable REMA staff to communicate in the field with the Emergency Operations Center, EOC, as well as to communicate with the fire department, highway, water, and light departments as well. The frequency that will be used is the little used Raleigh Fire Department fire ground channel that the town is already licensed to use. In order to further process this grant, the town must fill out the attached documents. MEMA is requesting that they be back to them within 10 days. I will make myself available to the board to discuss this grant at the board's convenience, respectively, James Broderick. With that, has everyone read this over? And it's straightforward for me to sign this. Do I have a motion from the board for me to sign them?
So move.
Do I have
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
It's a nice grant for the town to get those radios.
Sure is. Ron Penn. There we go. On this particular page, I sign with the X's. I don't want to sign with Sean. Oh, okay, notary. Okay, I sign up here.
The top part of that. And then there's one more after that.
And on the back here, authorized signatory.
The very last page.
Sean? Okay. Just wait for Sean to come back. It should be a second.
Well, I think that concludes it, as long as you've signed everything. He'll give us that back when he's...
All right, I'll move on to general business number 2. Letter from Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School, annual operational report. From Whittier Vocational High School. This is from from David Irving, Whittier representative, and William DeRosa, superintendent. Whittier offers 20 vocational technical skill areas designed to provide necessary training and skills for further education or workforce success. Whittier's academic program is designed to offer students the fundamental skills to its core curriculum in English, math, science, and technology, social studies, world languages, physical education, health, and elective subjects. Courses are aligned with the Massachusetts curriculum frameworks in order to achieve success on the MCAS. Courses are offered in sequential format and are integrated with the vocational technical areas wherever practical and mutually beneficial. All academic courses offer advanced sections for students who desire to further their education. We offer honor courses in English, thank you, Sean, courses in English, science, and math to lead towards advanced placement courses. Moreover, a tech prep program is offered to 11th and 12th grade students, which parallels college prep program and provides students with opportunity to earn college credits or advanced college placement. Since all programs are open to both females and males, we encourage our students to explore and to specialize in non-stereotyped, non-traditional vocational technical areas and to strive for maximum realization of their goals and potential. Whittier Regional Vocational High School is entering its 39th year. To date, we have graduated 9,780 students from the school. Enrollment for the evening school from Raleigh, over. October 1, okay. Okay, from Raleigh, seven honorable, okay, 7 over.
That's it, period.
That's it,
Yeah.
period. Okay. And then on the back is October 1st, 2011, day school enrollment. Grade 9, boys 1, girls 0. Grade 10, 2 boys, 1 girl. Grade 11, 0 boys, 1 girl. Grade 12, 6 boys, 1 girl. Okay, for a total of 12. 2012 graduates will be 7. The cost of Raleigh for the school year 2011-2012 was $221,274. Respectfully, David Irving, Raleigh representative, and William LaRosa, superintendent. So, any comments from the board?
I'm impressed that they offer the honors courses in English, science, and math at the school. That's very good.
Whittier's
Good for
Whittier's
their
a great school.
accreditation. It is.
So the representatives from the
They
board
get a good
here.
education there, besides being technically trained.
Absolutely. We've been over there several times to visit the school, and it's just what a great place, and the superintendent is a great person to have dealings with. So, we're thankful we're associated with them. Okay. So that takes care of general business. Number 2.
Do you want to put that in your...
Yes. Otherwise, I'll lose it. Okay, moving on to general new business. Number 1. Review eliminated signed special permit application submitted by Dean C. Drinkwater / Peachwave. Dean C. Drinkwater has submitted a special permit application for illuminated sign. The special permit application is not quite complete because it does not contain the certified abutters list. Otherwise, everything else appears to be in order. Because this is a special permit issued by the town's zoning bylaws and the state zoning statutes, we need to schedule a public hearing which must be advertised by a legal notice not less than 14 days before the date of the hearing. Additionally, abutters need to be mailed the notice not less than 14 days before the date of the hearings. Because of publishing times for this type of hearing, Debbie is recommending that the hearing be scheduled for 7:15 on Monday, January the 7th, 2013, which is the first regularly scheduled meeting in January. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to set the date for the hearing. Do I have a motion from the board or discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if you do vote, could you just make that conditional upon a complete application? We need that certified abutters list.
Can I have that motion with that conditions?
I'll make that motion. We have the
That's-
commissioner for the 7:15 on Monday, January 7th, 2013.
With the conditions
Yeah,
met for
with the
the,
conditions, yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'll
And
second that.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Peach Wave, is that the one over by the UPS store?
Correct.
Okay.
The yogurt store by UPS.
Okay, it is now 7:45. And we had a Board of Cemetery Commissioners to vote and sign contract with DeAngelis Iron Works for historic cemetery repair and restoration project. All right, we're going into a joint meeting. Gentlemen, want to come up? Jack, do you want to
I'm gonna sit over there.
sit over that? May I have a tissue? A tissue over there?
Thank you.
I call for a motion to open the board into a joint meeting between the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Cemetery Commissioners by a roll call vote. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor with a roll call vote.
Aye,
Jack.
Joe Perry.
Jack Cook.
I, Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Murray.
I, Stu Delzell.
Hi, Bill Gaynor.
I, Peter Delzell.
We are now in a joint meeting with the board. The Cemetery Commissioners. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Jack.
Okay, I think we're, Debbie and everyone that works with Debbie has done a good job, and we're ready to award. Thank you. Have you seen this before, Bill?
No. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen most of it, yeah.
You, Peter? All right.
The contract was provided in the invitation for bid documents as a sample. So the only change from the bidding documents to what you have in front of you is the insertion of DeAngelis Ironwork, Inc., the contract sum.
Mm-hmm.
And also in the package is a copy of the payment bond and the certificate of insurance as required.
So this company, Debbie, has met all the requirements.
Yes, there was the joint meeting of the Cemetery Board and Board of Selectmen awarded the contract to DeAngelis Ironwork. And at that point, I had transmitted the contract for their signature first, and they were required to provide the payment bond. Now we're at the stage where the contract needs to be signed by both the Selectmen and the Cemetery Board as the awarding authority. And after tonight's meeting, I'll have the authorization to issue a notice to proceed. And I will also return the bid deposit to the other bidder.
So you need a motion to sign the contract.
Yes, now that the contract has been returned, signed by DeAngelis, we're at the stage, and along with the payment bond and the certificate of insurance.
Okay, DeAngelis Ironworks Incorporated has signed and returned the two original contracts for the historic cemetery repair restoration project in the amount of $76,800. De Angelis has submitted the required documents to Debbie. 50% payment bond in the amount of $38,400 and certificate of insurance. So we need to vote to award the contract,
No,
To sign it.
To
You've
sign it.
already
Sign the
done.
contract.
sign the contract.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman, Board of Selectmen, that De Angelis Ironworks Inc., for the contract of the Historic Cemetery Repair and Restoration Project in the amount of $76,800.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Stu.
I would like to second that motion contingent on this office receiving a copy of the insurance. It's been, it says here it's been ordered and will be sent to them.
It was emailed, it's in your package.
You already got it.
Okay.
It's on the last,
It's the last page
they
right there.
had, they
Yeah.
transmitted that
Liability
by,
insurance.
All
by
right.
email,
Good enough.
not
Yeah.
with the package, I'm sorry.
Alright.
So the last
Hidden
two
in the back.
pages,
Okay,
Yeah, there's basically,
so I have a motion, and Stu,
I would like to
Second.
second the motion.
and I have a second. All those in favor? Roll call
Aye.
vote.
I, Jack Cook.
I, Joe Perry.
I, Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Murray. Hi, Stu Delzell.
Hi, Bill Gaynor.
Hi, Peter Dells.
Okay, contract.
Mr. Chairman, you have the originals that everyone needs to sign,
Okay.
2 originals.
Okay, with that.
Sweet, you the other file. He took that, the mold out back.
Wait a minute, I have to sign here
Just
second.
wanna get
page.
that out. Originals help.
Okay.
Yeah, he
I
found out.
apologize, I did not see the
Right
certificate
downstairs.
of insurance in the back.
Make sure we get that.
Still hidden away in the back, in the bottom.
Control, take that. I think the 2 of them guys and you will bring it right over.
Sure,
Yeah, can you get a hold of them?
I'll get over there.
With a word about the
All the snow and stuff.
getting the trucks and stuff. Said it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
There's two pages to sign. Okay.
What do you say on the salty money? Nothing. There's 2 of them, all right? Like another one in the morning, one tomorrow.
Yeah, something like that,
Joan.
You wanna use the clipboard as a surface to sign that?
No, I'm all set, yeah.
Bill, yeah.
Bill,
Bill, you want to take that? That'll be easy to sign it.
Get 2.
Just 2.
Yeah.
So,
He wants to return your pen.
oh, yes, we can't go on without that pen. Thanks, Jack. All right, so, that is complete, so we're all set. Okay, so with that, I guess we, a motion to go out of joint session.
I'll make that motion. We'll go to-
Another second?
Second,
All, with a roll call vote?
Jack Cook.
Joe Perry.
I, Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert Murray.
I, Stu Delzell. Bill Gaynor.
Hi, Peter Delville.
Thank you, gentlemen,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
and we're moving along again, Spence.
Check on that.
I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Peter, Bill, thanks for coming in.
See ya.
Okay.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Bill? Peter?
Okay, an 8 o'clock appointment is now 4 minutes of 8. Tim Southall's in the audience tonight from Parks and Recs, so with that, I'm gonna go over a few. Let me see, do we have enough time to do the, do we have enough time for the cupola? Debbie, do you think? Or do you think that will take?
Well, it should, take about 5 minutes. I would defer to Selectman Murray. He thinks we need more
What do you
time.
think?
No, it's pretty much straightforward.
Straightforward?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should be
If that's the
fine.
case, we'll delve right in. Okay. With that, old business number 1, Town Hall Cupola Repair and Restoration Project Update and Contract Award. Okay. Honorable Board of Selectmen from Deborah Egan, Town Administrator. Okay, IFB Town Hall Cupola Repair and Restoration Project. 1 bid was received in response to the invitation of bids for the Town Hall Cupola Repair and Restoration Project. Bids were opened last week, Monday, November 19th, 2012. Meadows Construction Company, LLC, 239 Boston Street, Topsfield, for a total of $97,000. The breakout as follows: labor cost $85,000, material cost $12,000. The bid submitted by Meadows Construction is complete and meets the requirements in the bid documents. We successfully reached 4 out of 5 references between Monday and today and received positive feedback. Summary sheet showing the responses is attached to this memo. Additionally, Meadows Construction Company is certified through the Division of Capital Assessment Management for historical building restoration and historical roofing. Meadows Construction Company LLC is responsible in eligibility for offering the lowest price. Therefore, I recommend that the Board of Selectmen award the contract for the Town Hall Cupola Repair and Restoration Project to Meadows Construction Company LLC for the amount of $97,000. Gentlemen, any questions?
Checking through the references that, and their answers to the questions, that they're very favorable
Yes.
to the company, so that looks like they've done good work in the past.
How many bidders were there? One.
Just one.
This one. Okay.
And, Mr. Chairman, I actually have reviewed with Debbie the bids themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was here for the opening. And we actually have a track record with this company. They actually did our town hall roof several years ago.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, about 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
Oh, this is the same company?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I think the biggest part of the cupola repair is the joining of the cupola with the roof. And obviously, if this is the roofing company that did the roof, they're gonna have a better feel for how that can be done. The cupola repair itself is basically carpentry work for the wood part of the cupola. but where it mates with the town hall roof is where we've had most of our problems through the years, with leaks and things like that. So hopefully these people will have a good handle on that.
What'd they give us for the time for the project?
I think the contract calls for
120.
completion. Is it
120 days.
120
You're talking about
days?
the time frame?
Yeah,
Yes, unless mutually, there's an agreement between both sides to
Right.
extend it for any
And obviously, if
extenuating reasons.
this time of the year, if there's any snow problems or anything like that.
That's what I was thinking.
We can work with them as far as that goes.
Okay. Okay. All right, with that, do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion. Or, go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'll make the motion that we award the town hall cupola repair and restoration to the, what's the company?
Meadows.
Meadows Construction Company.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 This the gentleman who did the police station work too?
I don't know.
No,
No.
no, it was a different company.
Okay.
The name escapes me.
Gentleman who lived in Byfield, I know that now. Just for-
Yes, one of the principals in the company is from Byfield. The business is located in Topsfield.
Okay, it is 2 minutes after 8. Tim Southall, come on down.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Good evening, Tim.
Evening, Tim. We have an 8 o'clock appointment. Sorry we're late, 2
okay.
minutes. Tim Southall, Parks and Recreation Committee, to discuss construction access to Brad Street recreation fields. Tim Southall has submitted a letter to the Board of Selectmen on access to the Brad Street active recreation land, parkland parcel for the development of playing fields. The proposed access route is through the housing parcel. The Board of Selectmen and Debbie are tentatively planning to issue an RFP in the spring to sell this parcel. The Board of Selectmen will need to contemplate how this request will affect the ability to issue an RFP to sell this property. The board needs to find out if the access over the housing parcel is only for phase 1 of the project, or will access need to be given over the parcel for the additional phases. Conservation Commission has also reviewed this request. Chairman Snow needs to read the conservation letter, so I'll read that. Well, I'll read both letters here. First, this is from Tim Southall. Dear Mr. Snow, on behalf of the Raleigh Parks and Recreation Committee, I am requesting that the Board of Selectmen allow affordable housing parcel to be used as part of an access road to the recreational parcels at the Brad Street Farm. We are hoping to begin phase 1 of this project in the spring 2013. Phase 1 will include the construction of natural grasses, Little League field, access walkway, two retaining walls, a water well, an irrigation system on a portion of the land reserved for recreation use. Construction access for this phase will be through the parcel of land reserved for affordable housing development and a small section of land reserved for open space. There is an existing old access road that will be augmented to make it passable for construction vehicles. We appreciate your consideration for this request. Sincerely, Tim Southall, Vice Chairman, Raleigh Parks and Recreation. And then from the Conservation Agent, this to Tim Southall from Brent Bazelak, request for temporary construction access at Brad Street Conservation Land. Dear Mr. Southall, the Raleigh Conservation Commission has received your request for temporary construction access at Brad Street Farm Conservation Land at 239 Main Street, map 26, parcel 26, lot 1, dated October 31st, 2012. The RCC understands that and explain to you, this request is for anticipated access for construction vehicles across the so-called affordable housing parcel, map 26, parcel 26, lot 3, under the custody, care, and control of the Board of Selectmen to gain access to the recreation parcel, map 26, parcel 26, lot 2, for proposed construction for recreational fields in 2013. This access would utilize an abandoned cart path that previously connected the farm fields at Bradford Street Farm, and if approximately 50 feet more or less in the length, and would be the minimum allowable width for passage of one typical construction vehicle or truck. The location of the abandoned cart path is approximately 100 feet north of northwest corner of the established community gardens. The RCC voted at their meeting of Tuesday, November 13, 2012, to grant your request for temporary construction access in 2013 with the stipulation that at the end of its use, any deposited fill gravel used to improve the surface of the cart path would be removed, that the topsoil would be restored to provide a non-compacted growing medium for the establishment of native grasses or help me.
Herbaceous.
Nobody's coming forward to help me either.
Herbaceous,
Herbaceous.
I believe.
Herbaceous.
Herbaceous
In other words,
cover to
weeds.
Weeds.
weeds. Thanks, Frank, you got me. Herbaceous cover to accomplish revegetation of the cart path, unless authorized by the RCC staff. There shall be no cutting of mature trees 4 inches or more DBH in order to establish this construction access route. The RCC acknowledges the existence of various invasive plants species that exist in the area and excludes them from consideration in an effort to restore the area impacted by this temporary access. This approval is contingent upon authorization by the Board of Selectmen on the contingent parcel. Sincerely, Brent Bazelak, Conservation Agent. Herbaceous. I'm going to give him a call tomorrow on that one.
Yes.
Okay, with that, Tim.
Very good. Well, as far as to gain access to the field without having to go through the school, the best way to do it is to go through, gain access through this kind of cart path that's there.
Mm-hmm.
We would definitely need it for phase 1. We'd like to use it as we move on down the phases of the project. If that is not possible, then we'll have to look into either going closer around through the community gardens area or accessing the school. But if we do it through the school, it's going to really limit. Obviously, you can't be bringing trucks in and out in that area while school's going on. So obviously that'd be, they'd have to make arrangements to bring vehicles in on weekends, and they can work out there during school, but not be able to bring in stuff, back and forth. It's really not a perfect scenario. So it'd be much better for us to be able to utilize the access through the affordable housing and through the conservation land that's there.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No, we plan to put out an RFP for that 2013.
It was on the project list. As soon as we sold the house and barn, we would be working on the RFP to sell the housing parcel. So if the board wants to delay that for a while, we can do that, or we can certainly issue the RFP, but we would have to have contingencies in there somehow. If there's some type of agreement, the town would have right of access over the property once it's sold.
I think we'll need that because we're going to go through the phases
I would have
here.
to work a little on some other alternatives if the board wants to do that. If they want to just, we're working with Tim on getting his bid documents ready and up and running, so that he can get this project underway. And I don't want to be out on an RFP to sell the property and all of a sudden actually be able to sell it sooner than
Yeah.
expected.
I'm just concerned that it's probably gonna be, at the best, a difficult process to try to get that sold and developed. What are your phases for the second and third, or whatever phases you get?
We'd like to do, we're hoping to do it, in 3 years. I mean, in each project, each phase, each year. Currently right now, the Community Preservation Committee has supported the entire project. Now, we're supposed to do a pair of tennis courts and also a skateboard park in the next phase. And then the last phase was going to be an additional ball field, which would be for girls softball. That would be there.
So I get the feeling that the first phase is gonna be the most intensive as far as being construction materials and trucks and that type of thing.
I would say phase one and probably in phase three is still going to be quite a bit of work as far as trucks goes too, because that's going to be building an actual field as well with that. I mean, we do have access, once the construction is done, we do have access through the school for emergency vehicles. There's going to be an access road that can get us down to the field. There will be minimal amount of parking for just coaches and handicap parking, but then there's also going to be a road that ambulances or any rescue apparatuses would have to get down there. So once the construction's done, we don't have to have any access through the affordable housing.
Right.
Once the construction phase is done.
But the first phase is the one that's gonna be with all the tree trimming. You've mentioned something about building a wall.
There's going to be a retaining wall that has to be put in.
So those would be, and drilling a well, there's another piece of heavy-duty equipment that needs to go in.
Yeah.
It would appear to me that at least phase one is probably gonna be the most intensive as far as the type of equipment. And
I would think so, yeah.
Once you start building the fields, you're gonna be using probably a little smaller dump trucks, maybe a bulldozer or something like that, would go in once and not come back out until you were finished. So if we could kind of keep that in mind, that the phases are gonna kind of taper off as far as the traffic will be concerned and the type of equipment going in and out, that we could hopefully get through the first year. We'll be working on the RFP. It'll probably be, if we start it this coming spring, it'll probably take some time for them to get to the housing phase of their project if they go for it.
Well, it just depends on when the property is sold, because once that parcel is out of the town's custody, we have an issue if we have large construction vehicles, that need to access this cart path.
And basically, they're gonna need access to their own land if in fact if they do that.
Yes,
with their own construction type vehicles to do their septic system and then the water installation and all that other stuff.
In the road.
Right.
Also the road.
Yeah.
The buyer of the housing parcel will be constructing the road.
Yes. So it becomes, hopefully this goes through quick and we can kind of dovetail it along with the RFP if possible. I just hate to put us into a position where we put out the RFP and then tell the people that are bidding on it, oh, by the way, you can't do this for 3 years. That doesn't really make any sense.
No. Yeah.
It's just gonna be and I hate to lose the ability to be able to do that project. So hopefully, Tim, if that comes about.
Like I said, there is going to be ways around it. I mean, so it's not perfect, but we're just going to have to deal with it as we move on. If that process happens and it gets sold, and we don't have access that way, like I said, we can look. I don't know if there's access near the community gardens that we can get there, or we'll have to go through the school. And if that's the case, they're just going to have to move trucks in and out when children aren't present.
Right.
Once they're out back, they can work and they're not going to affect anything. They're
Tim, what's the phase, the timeframe for phase one?
Well, we're hoping to get it, project started in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope right now. I've met with Debbie and Amy and Doreen, and I've met with Meridian. Meridian who did the original plans. It's ready now for basically this week to actually pick up phase one, which has been basically kind of blown up and gone into detail exactly what we need as far as for the retaining walls and that type of, so we can put that out for, in the bid specs, you know, so people know what they're bidding on and things of that nature, so. You know, the plan is hopefully this winter we can get it put out the bid and get it awarded, you know, so that once springtime comes, once, you know, weather breaks, we can start working on it. And,
How long do you figure the time frame for the actual work of phase one?
you know, I'm really not 100% sure. I would certainly hope that it'll be, you know, be completed prior to the start of the school year in September.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would imagine would be done by then.
And then next phase is the tennis courts,
Tennis courts and
Second year.
skateboard park.
and then the skateboard park. at
That's
the end.
that's the same phase. The tennis
Yeah,
courts and
they're both gonna be in
skateboard
the
park are
tennis
going to be
court. Okay.
the second phase.
So we have we got and the ball field is,
The softball field would be the third phase,
Be the
girls
third
softball
phase,
field.
okay.
Yeah.
So the intensity of the construction equipment tends to taper off in the second two phases.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll work to our advantage.
There's definitely more work that's going to be happening in phase one.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
there's still going to be construction vehicles in 2 and 3.
The tree
but-
clearing and then the land clearing would be a big part of phase one.
And they said the well, there's going to be,
Yeah.
you know, some big trucks coming in with that, so.
Yeah. So, okay, so with any luck at all, we can work around it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's as important to them as it's important to us.
Sure.
To get this get this project done.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I'd like to suggest that we put the RFP on the back burner for 6 months to see how this project goes, because somebody came in and bought it. They may want to start something right away.
Mm.
That might be a good idea.
What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. I'm not sure what Debbie and the office staff's schedule is for this coming round of things. I know we got a couple other projects we're looking at to try to do. My guess would be it would probably be close to 6 months anyway before we even got to
Get it
putting it
right.
out.
So, like, we'll start working on it, well, we'll be busy with the budget anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
If, you know, we'll work on this and get the bids out on the park development here that Tim's working on, get that out to bid, get a contract going, and then we'll see how things are going, and, you know, it's gonna take some time to write the RFP. Just, I have a draft of it, but, so, that's probably a very good suggestion.
Jack?
Start putting contingencies in the RFP, it appears to me you will lose value.
Lose value and lose bidders, I think.
Yes. That's
would be
my concern with,
That would be
Somebody
my
paying an
concern
X
also.
number of dollars, they don't want their hands tied
Right.
for a while.
And by May 1st, I would think that at that point, everything should be awarded at that time, and we should also, by May 1st, know, you know, exactly the length of time it's gonna take for completion of at least phase one.
Jack, you have any comments?
No, I think Selectman Dalzell got a good point. You know, so we get budgets and everything coming, and just
Yeah,
6 months, I think, is gonna help.
the natural process, I think, you're right, Stuart.
Yeah.
That the natural process coming up in the next 6-7 months, it's gonna delay it anyways, because, I mean, this is our busy season really.
Sure.
Starts to begin just after Christmas and continues right into,
Middle of the year.
yeah, right into the middle of the year. And so, we probably wouldn't be ready to think about the RFP until then, so. And, events will really dictate the RFP
Sure.
more than anything else. Okay.
They have to vote to allow us.
yes, they do.
What?
We need to take a vote.
Okay. Do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion to grant the access to the Brad Street recreation fields.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye. Access is granted.
Beautiful. We appreciate it very much.
Okay.
The kids as well.
Tim, always a pleasure to have you come in.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Timmy.
Thank you.
Just remember how good we are, Tim.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All of you guys out there on the skateboard, skateboard park.
There you go.
Can't wait, can't wait.
I can't wait to see that come to fruition.
Sure.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
that all started with a little boy coming to my front door.
I know it. I know it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, our next appointment is at 8:15.
Okay,
way the time flies, that little boy will be hoping to pay the bill.
Yeah. That was
What was that, 2 years ago?
No, that was like 3 years ago. Remember you sent me the letter and
Hi, Karen.
everything else?
Hello.
I lived down the end of my street.
Haven't seen you in a long while.
Ryan was his name. I gotta get him to, when it gets dedicated. Okay. 8:15, sorry. Treasurer Collector, but running a little behind. We have Treasurer Collector Karen Summit to discuss a request to vacate judgment from Land Court for 7 Brook Street. Daniel J. Bartlett is petitioning the town to vacate the foreclosure decree issued by Land Court for 7 Brook Street, as shown on Assessors May 11th parcel 45. Karen Summit has sent a letter to the Board of Selectmen on the issue. The chairman needs to ask Karen to read the letter into the record. If the board agrees with Mr. Bartlett's request, Chairman Snow needs to call for a motion and vote to authorize and direct Attorney James Capola, the town's tax title attorney, to vacate the foreclosure in Land Court upon payment of all outstanding taxes and fees by Daniel J. Bartlett, trustee of 7 Brook Tree Trust, 09TL-139803. And with that, turn over to you, Karen.
Okay, you would like me to read this letter?
Yes.
Okay. And this is Mr. Bartlett.
Mr.
in the
Bartlett.
audience. Okay, dear Board of Selectmen, I recently received a phone call from Daniel Bartlett regarding a piece of property located at 7 Brook Street, map 11, parcel 45. This property was acquired by the town in a judgment and tax lien case, Town of Rowley versus Daniel J. Bartlett, trustee of 7 Brook Tree Realty Trust, 09TL-139803 from the Land Court. The final judgment is dated 2/7/12. According to Mass General Law, Chapter 60, Section 69A, the petitioner has 1 year from the time of judgment to petition to vacate the decree. Attached is a copy of the judgment and tax lien from the Land Court for the property at 7 Brook Street. After speaking with Mr. Bartlett, he has indicated that he would like to vacate the foreclosure and retake possession of the property by paying the back taxes along with all other legal fees and costs. He is in the process of writing a letter to me stating his intention. Excuse me. I will follow up with a formal request as soon as I receive the paperwork, as this will need to go before the board for approval. Attached is a copy of the tax title history as well as the locus of the property, and I believe you also have a copy of Mr. Bartlett's letter, as well as a copy of the field card.
I think that I came in later than today, right? Did I come in this afternoon?
Yes.
Yes, I have a copy here.
So that should be at the end of the package.
So basically, what we would do is, with your approval, because we are within the 1 year, when Mr. Bartlett pays all of the outstanding taxes and legal costs, we would request our attorney, Jim Capola, to petition the Land Court to vacate the judgment. At that point, we would release the lien, and the property would go back to Mr. Bartlett.
Okay.
The outstanding balance that would be owed is something in the neighborhood of excuse me, between $7,000 and $8,000.
$7,000 to $8,000.
And as you can see, Brook Street is off of Farnham Road, which is off of 133.
Actually, Weathersfield Street.
I'm sorry, Weathersfield Street, you're right.
It's way out towards
Georgetown line.
You're right.
Georgetown line. Down Long Hill Road, off of that. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So basically, we need to,
you need to vote to allow me to request that Attorney Capola vacate the judgment once we've received payment for all outstanding taxes and legal fees, as well as payment of 2013 fiscal taxes.
The motion, Mr. Chairman, is in the first page of the
Okay.
packet.
okay, do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make that motion.
Do I-
Well, you should read that motion.
Oh, okay.
It's on the first page of your package,
Yep.
in italics.
Okay. If the board agrees, Mr. Bartlett's request I need to call for a motion to vote to authorize to authorize and direct Attorney James Capola, the town's tax title attorney, to vacate the foreclosure in land court upon payment of all outstanding taxes and fees by Daniel J. Bartlett, trustee of 7 Oak Tree Trust.
Brook Street?
I'm sorry, Brook Tree Trust, 09 TL 139803. Have a motion?
I'll make that motion to authorize and direct the attorney.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
okay.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
And hopefully we can get it back on the tax rolls. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, this is the, yeah, it is a little bit wet down here.
Okay, announcements. Raleigh Food Pantry has needed donations. The Raleigh Food Pantry is open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, you can make donations behind the parsonage at that particular time, which is right next to the Baptist Church on Main Street. Also, there's a food basket at the library. You can make drop-off donations. They're in dire needs, the food pantry. They need everything that you can possibly donate. It's that particular time of year. As fast as the food comes in, the food is going right out of the food pantry. So if you can be generous as you can. So we thank you. The town has following vacant seats: Planning Board Associate Member and Zoning Board of Appeals Associate Member. There are 3 open seats. Pine Grove School, and you can, if you get in contact with the Selectmen's office here, if you're interested in any of those positions. Pine Grove School Annual Craft Fair, Saturday, December 1st, 2012. The Friends of the Raleigh Public Library is sponsoring a holiday basket raffle to fund programs at the library. They are seeking donations for baskets worth at least $50, which will be displayed at the library, along with sponsored details from November 24th to December 15th, 2012. Drawing will be December 15th. You can email baskets@raleigh.library.org. That's all one word, baskets@raleigh.library.org for more information. Toys for Tots, the drop-off box is right here in the town hall. You can do that through December 13th, and that's run by the Marine Corps Reserve, and they'll come in at the end and pick up all those toys. So if anything, a few toys are starting to get dropped off already, I noticed the other day. Also, Wreaths Across America convoy through Raleigh, December 10th at approximately 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Do you have any more information on that, Bob?
Yeah, basically, I don't think they're coming through Raleigh this year. I think basically what they're gonna do, they're gonna leave Maine and come down Route 95 and get off at exit 52, which is Route 97, and they're going to go stop in at Topsfield. They'll wind up at Topsfield Fairgrounds in the Coolidge Hall building for their lunch break.
Okay.
And that'll be on the 10th of December.
Which they did last year. Is
Same
he
thing
going
they did.
down to?
I would like to attend.
Yeah, I would like to attend too. That is on what,
the 10th.
On the 10th.
December 10th, yes.
So that is
Monday the 10th.
Monday the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And adding to what Bob said, the Grange in Raleigh had a piece in the Newburyport News, I don't know if you were aware of it. They were looking for people for baked goods. Cause they
Okay.
had,
They're
the
gonna
Raleigh
do-
Grange
they're
is
putting on
gonna,
the
gonna be
dinner
putting
farm.
on
Yes.
a, cookies and cake or whatever to contact, I don't know who, I think it was.
You know, they put a nice little presentation together.
Barbara,
You got
yes.
Barbara and Alan.
Barbara and,
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Last year, we had a little
They
little
had-
snack.
They had sandwiches and
Yeah.
they had clam chowder, and soups and things like that they served.
Yeah, I think one of the things was, Bob, was a chowder.
Yeah.
And anyone in the community would like to bake or anything like that to notify them, and they'd make sure it got up there.
For your,
Yeah.
those at home are not familiar with wreaths across America, these will be the wreaths that will come out of Maine. It'll be, will go to Arlington National Cemetery and placed on the graves of deceased veterans.
Yeah, it's a pretty
We're gonna
scene
check
when you see
that
the.
because Amy did communicate with somebody on this, and they did say they were coming through Raleigh, so.
Oh, really?
I thought
Maybe they are.
Barbara mentioned to me that it was coming through the town,
Okay.
and
Wayne?
but we'll check on that. Now, hopefully,
Amy's been in communication with Wayne, and,
Okay, maybe they've changed the route a little bit. That'd be great.
I know this is the second year in a row that they're stopping at
Right.
Topsfield.
Yes. I
For the
mean,
lunch
before,
and
before
stuff
they've
like
come
that.
through here, they've come down Route
Yeah.
1A, and if you remember right,
Yes.
the school children lined up on
That's
both
right.
sides of Main Street in front of the school waving their flags as they went by. It was really quite impressive.
yes.
It
Yes,
really
it
was.
was.
It was
yeah.
moving when you see the
Yeah.
kids out there waving their American flags. It was really great.
Yeah, I think it was last year though, they came down, I know I was on Route 1 and I pulled over,
Yeah.
and it was led by the Maine State Police.
Yeah.
Come in, and they said they were going all the way with them.
Yeah.
Two
and the-
cruisers, and then there was sheriff
and I know
departments leading
Once they got into Massachusetts, the Patriot Riders also picked them up.
Picked 'em up,
And used
right.
they were on
Yeah.
they were escort also.
Yeah.
And the Greens would be happy to have some homemade cookies to
Yeah.
Yeah.
put in bags for the
For the
drivers on the way to
Yeah.
Washington.
It really is a nice little
To take
ceremony
with
they
them.
do at Topsfield
Yeah.
Fairground that Bob and I went to last year, and they gave us a wreath
Mhm.
that you placed on the Revolutionary War Memorial.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
It was,
If I could add one more
Sure, Joe.
announcement. On the 375th Anniversary Committee under the Open Meeting Law, we're not able to post the agenda for the meeting for tomorrow night, so that'll have to be postponed. And I checked over at the annex for room 5, and
Okay.
the Conservation Committee is meeting on the 4th of December. So I'm going to schedule the meeting for December 11th, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. At the annex, room 5.
last item, tomorrow, the blood drive will be at the Raleigh Veterans Association from 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock. So that is at 19 Bradford Street, right next to the Bradford Tavern. So if you're interested, Red Cross will be there, take your blood. I try to get down there. Matter of fact, I don't know, they call me at home. I don't know if they called in here, but a couple of weeks ago, and I usually get down and I missed the last one. It's always nice. This is a nice way to give something to somebody else it's so precious. So if you can, try to get over to the Raleigh Veterans Association between 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and 7 o'clock tonight. And I don't know if you've gone in there, but there's quite a few people that come in during the day to make a donation. It's really kind of nice. That's it for right now, and make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing strategy with respect to collective bargaining and litigation, because an open session meeting may have detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the town, and not to return to open session. I need a member of the board to make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion, we go into executive session and not return to regular session.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Jack Cook?
Hi, Joe Perry.
Robert Snow.
Hi, Robert, Mary.
Ice 2 Delzo.
With that, good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.